Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's our subject is geography from standard 10th, first chapter, that is resource and development. The starting topic of this chapter, I have already made this video and the link I will provide in the description box. You can go and watch that. So here only will cover the last topic, that is soil as a resources. It means that here we will be in this chapter we will be covering about the types of soils of India and some part of the soil degradation also will cover. Let's see classification of soils. Here we are having majorly six class or the six types of the soil, that is alluvial soil, black soil, red and yellow soils, laterite soil, arid soil and forest soil. First of all, these all soils are not found at one place in India. The India is having the varied lands and the plateaus or the types of hilly area or the land. It gives a difference in the types of the soil. So there are lots of reason why the other different very different areas are having the different kinds of soil. So when this you will come to know when we will see the each and every soil's description. So we are moving to see each and every soil's description in detail. Let's move to the soil alluvial. Now if we will see that alluvial soil here, first of all you should know that whenever you're reading something, any types or any classification or geography related to the geography term, you should know that what's its location. Suppose for example, if we are learning about the alluvial soils, so where alluvial soil is located, okay, this location you should know. And if we are talking about the soil, then it might be flourished with the some of the river. Okay, so river you should know its location and the area where it is found, and which cropping is done in that soil, because soil is a main component or the main factor for the cropping. Okay, so everything cropping or the agriculture depend on the kind of soil, and the kind of soil generates the different kind of crops. Like every crops are not sown in all the types of soil. Different soils are having the different they give the different crops growth. So let's see, if we will talk about the alluvial soil, the entire northern plains. Okay, entire northern plains in the map, if you will see that entire northern regions are covered with this alluvial soil. It means that Himalayan regions and bottom of that Himalayan regions are covered with this soil. For example, if we will talk about the areas, that is Indus, Ganga and the Brahmaputra are the river. These are the three Himalayan river which flourish this soil, and these areas are having mainly the alluvial soil, and the mainly these areas are like Punjab, Haryana, then Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Arunachal Pradesh. This all are the northern states or the northern plains of the India which are having the alluvial soil. And majorly it also found in the Rajasthan at some of the part, in the Gujarat at only some of the parts, not a whole area. Okay, so Mahanadi and the Godavari and Krishna and Kaveris, these rivers also flourish this kind of soil in the Rajasthan, Gujarat and eastern coastal plain also. When we will move to the property, okay, so property, it means that if you're seeing any soil, how you will come to know this soil is alluvial, this soil is clayey or the sandy. So the property of the alluvial soil is that it is sand, silt and clay. Okay, so it is having the combination of sand also, silt also and clay type also. Soil particle appear to be bigger in size, whereas upper side of the river valley the soils are porous. So it depends on the age of the soil. Okay, we know that formation of the soil is done by the weathering. So it depends how much old the soil is. It will depend on the size of that soil. Based on age, alluvial soils can be classified into two types, that is alluvial soils, old alluvial soils and new alluvial soil. Old alluvial soil is known as Bhangar and the new alluvial soil is known as Khadar. Okay, these are very important two topics, that is alluvial soils are classified into a old alluvial soil and the new alluvial soil. This old alluvial soil is known as the Bhangar and new alluvial soil is known as the Khadar. Okay, so here we know that there are two types of soils. Now you should know that if it is old, it means that it is having higher concentration of conker nodules than the Khadar. This is the property of old alluvial. And if we will talk about the new alluvial soil, it has more fine particles and more fertile than Bhangar. Okay, so Khadar soil or new alluvial soil is very good for the cropping as compared to the new old alluvial soil, because old alluvial soil is having lots of conker nodules in it, so it is not sufficient for the growth of the crop. Now if we will look overall the alluvial soil as compared to the any other soil, that is laterite soil, sandy soil or any other forest soil, this alluvial soil is very fertile as compared to the other soil. So why? Because it contains the adequate portion of potash, phosphoric acid and lime, which are ideal for the growth of sugarcane, paddy, wheat and other cereal and pulses crop. So these are the reason why this alluvial soil are very important, because it is having the all the ideal properties or the chemical component which are required for any cropping plant. Let's move to the other soil, that is black soil. If we will talk about the black soil, definitely its color will be black. Okay, and it is also known as rigor soil. Climatic condition, you should also know the climatic condition. Okay, it depends, like if you know that it is a black soil, so definitely it would have come out from the parent rock material, which are black soil, which are formed from the black rock, or the black soil has formed from the parent rock. It means that if it is parent rock and this is your black soil, okay, so here this black soil will have the same property as compared to the parent one. They will derive their whole full property from the parent rock. Now it is ideal for growing the cotton, and that's why it is known as a black cotton soil. See, this is a very important mark you should know, why this black soil is also known as black cotton soil, because it gives a good growth to the cotton plant. And where it is found, so you should know the location of this soil. So mostly it is Deccan Trap, okay, spread throughout the northwestern Deccan Plateau. That is, if in the Indian map if you look, that is if it is north area side and this is west area side, so this is northwestern side. This area is like mostly occupied by, this is west, and the northwestern side is mostly occupied by the black soil. Some of the plateaus, if you will look, like Maharashtra, Saurashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh of southeastern directions along with the Godavari and the Krishna valleys, are also having the black soil. Now black soils are made up of extremely fine particles, that is clay material, and well known for their capacity to hold moisture. See, if any soil is holding the moisture, definitely that soil will be good for the crop. So that's why it is said that black soil is good for the crop, as well as the property of clay type is available in the alluvial soil also. That's why alluvial soil is also best for the cropping, and black soil is also good for the cropping. For example, in the coming slides we will talk about the this all laterite soils and all. They don't have the capacity to hold the moisture. To hold the moisture means to hold the water content indirectly. Okay, if we will water the land, definitely it should hold the water, and that by holding the water they will give to the plant. And if they are having the more capacity to hold the plant, definitely the crop will get the more water and the growth of the plant will be good. And nutrition content, if we will look about the black soil, is that is carbonate, magnesium, potash and lime. This soil is sticky, wet and difficult to walk unless tilled immediately after the first shower or during pre-monsoon period. It means that it becomes due to the clayiness or due to clay property, it is quite sticky, and after doing the proper tilting of the land, then only you will be able to do the cropping. Let's move to the next soil, that is red and yellow soil. If we will talk about this kind of soil, it develops from the igneous rock which are having the low rainfall areas like eastern and the southern part of the Deccan Plateau. This soil develop reddish color due to diffusion of iron crystal, iron crystal and metamorphic rock. It looks yellow when it occurs in the hydrated form. It means that when it is in dry form, it looks in a reddish color because it is having the iron content. But if the water is poured in that soil, it looks in as a yellow color. And areas found are Orissa, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of the middle Ganga plain, along with the predominant zone of the western Ghats. Some of the western Ghats are also having this soil. If we will talk about the next soil, that is laterite soil. Laterite soils are developed under the tropical as well as subtropical climate with alternate wet and dry season. So intense leaching due to heavy rain. Now laterite soils are little bit acidic in nature, and generally if in common sense if we will see that if it is acidic in nature, definitely it is not good for the plant or it is not good for the cropping. This type of soil is mostly found in southern states, Western Ghats region of Maharashtra, Orissa and some part of Bangladesh and West Bengal and the northeast regions. Soil supports deciduous and evergreen forests, but humus is poor. I will let you know what is humus. So first you should know that deciduous is type of forest and evergreen is also type of vegetation or the forest, you can say. This soil is having less or the poor humus. It means that humus is the organic matter which help in the growth of the plant or growth of the crops. So this is lacking in the laterite soil. This soil is very useful for growing tea and coffee. So here major important of laterite soil is tea and coffee. So you can have the tea and coffee are grown in the laterite soil. We will move to the next soil, that is arid soil. This range from red to brown in color. So its color property is red to brown. Generally it is sandy in texture and saline in nature. If it is sandy in texture and the saline in nature, it means that will be containing the high salt and it will not able to hold the water. Water retaining capacity is very less. So it lacks in humus as well as it is having the less moisture content. We have seen. Let's move to the next topic, that is here we are ending with the soil types. 6 different types of soil we have done the discussion. Now we will see that what are soil erosion and how we can do the conservation of the soil erosion. We know that the India land is having lots of variety of soil, and the manual work on this soil is very high level going on. It's like other than the cropping and all, there is building up of lots of construction work, construction of roads and other many things are going on the land. So day by day there is a decreasement of the land soil quality and the land resources, or you can say that in the soil resources there is a decreasement. So there are some ways to conserve our soil and we can stop the soil erosion. First of all, soil erosion means if it is rain, if the rain is coming, along with that water, if soil is moving, along with the water, soil is moving, that is called soil erosion. And this can be control by planting the lots of tree. If you're planting lots of tree, that roots hold the water and hold the water as well as the soil, and it will not allow the soil to move forward. The soil will get holded at the roots of plant. If we are planting more in the numbers or in more number trees, then different more number of roots will hold the soil and will not allow the soil to move to the other areas. Okay, and if the soil is eroding from one area and moving to another area, then it means that there is a process of soil erosion. There are some methods here. It is given that how we can do the soil conservation. For example, the first thing is plowing along the contour lines decelerate the flow of water down the slope. This is called contour plowing. We can make the, if we are having the farm, you can make the counter and you can do the farming over there, so definitely it will reduce the flowing of the soil. Terrace cultivation restricts soil erosion. Terrace, if you are the area is mountain, and on the terrace, if it is you can create like that, like this step, and over this step you can have your cultivation. So this will definitely will reduce the soil erosion. When large part field is divided into strips and strip of grass are left to grow between, then the break up the force of the wind. This method is called strip cropping. Strip cropping in the sense, like if you're having a different rows, and in this if you're growing one crop here, another crop here, and in between you're growing some any other crop, so what it will create, this some any other crop will hold the soil and will not allow the even wind to take away that soil, even water to take away that soil. So this strip cropping is also one of the good method to conserve the soil. Shelter belt. Shelter belt mean that planting lines of trees. You can suppose here you want to do the farming, and here you have the good land and good soil, so here surround to this you can plant a lots of tree in good number. Okay, so what happen, if wind will come from here, definitely it will trap the wind, this tree will trap the wind, and it will not allow to come over the land where you're going to do the farming, because this land because this rainwater as well as wind is also somewhere the reason for the soil erosion. I hope so this all thing you have understood what we have discussed today, that is classification of soil we have seen, and some small part of soil conservation also we have seen. Thank you so much for watching this.